My name is Leah Tahere. Some of my friends know me as Tahere. I am from Delivery Hero. I'm there as a project manager, and I've been in the company since very long time. And recently, less than a year ago, I'm back from a very long maternity break. And right after, I had a great chance to get to know Yota and get to know you, and we started our work together.
And Leah, what could you say it was the biggest thing that happened to you during these last months that we have worked together?
I need to provide a little bit of context. So a year of maternity break is long for women who are out there in the market, in the career. 3 years of maternity break is extremely long, like in the high growing market, in the business that change every day, in the industry, in the tech industry that today is different from yesterday. 3 years is extremely long. And for me, it was feeling like I can never come back. I didn't know where do I fit in. I felt extremely lost and confused, and my confidence was in the basement, honestly. And since we started to work together, slowly I built up that confidence, especially after such a long break. And I started to find myself back in the team, find out where can I bring value, find my worth, find the potential in the team, and we build it together. And now it's in a great place, I would say.
Thank you. I know we're working together for less than a year, and it was really inspiring for me to see your journey and how you started, when you were just back in the role, all the doubts that you had, you were not sure about where to go, what would be next for you. And I saw you transforming the doubt to confidence and belief in yourself. Could you give us a little bit of context around what were the thoughts that were in your mind when you just came back in the office? So what led to you doubting yourself, or what was caused a hit in your confidence?
I was out for a very long time. Things changed a lot where I was coming from compared to the time before I go to maternity. This 3 years break literally made me feel like everybody who were in the same level, my peers, my colleagues, they all grow like 2 level, or I don't know, they left to another exciting career path, and everybody was so fast moving forward. And I felt like being a mother at home, mother of 2 toddlers, that made me feel like I was engaged in another business in another totally different world. But that made me feel I'm far away from everybody else. This made me feel lost, and this made me feel doubting myself. At the same time, I really didn't know, with the capability I had back in time before I go on maternity, like how could I come back? How could I put myself back to speed? It was difficult. It was really scary. That the word I would put on it would be, I was scared. I was not sure. I didn't know if the team I was put on would accept me. Who would be my manager? How would be he or she taking me? And what would be the job? What would be a role for me? I was just happy that I would have this position back from maternity, so I didn't have to search for a new job. But there was a lot of fear and doubt. So I started to look around the company, what other position exists. But as I said, this was coming from a root of fear, not confidence. So I wanted to find somewhere that I choose my manager myself. So with your help, I found it. Like I calmly landed in, and we took first 6 months just to build in confidence, just to come back to speed, to understand what is the team's need and what is my need, what skills I need to build up. And here, there was a transformation happen inside me. When I came back from maternity, I strongly thought everything is fixed. There is no chance. There is no room to grow. But this first conversation we had turns out that I need to change my mindset. And this believing in that things that can change in me and in other people. And there is a lot of opportunity out there. And nothing is limited. Nothing is tight. And also, I had to mention this positivity that I was missing in my approach. Those really transformed me from where I was to where I am now.
You are describing a change in the mindset, right? And obviously, we walked this path together. So I know all the little steps that were in this journey for you. But I know there are like other women out there that are coming back from maternity leave. They might have similar doubts, similar fears, and they're thinking, well, how can I transition from like doubting myself, not knowing my worth, not knowing what I'm really good at, to actually achieving these things? And obviously, coaching can be great, and that's why we're having this conversation. But I want to ask, if you think about yourself, what are the things that help you to change that mindset?
So first thing, I heard success story of your work from my colleagues. So I saw colleagues before I go on maternity, and I came back, they were up there, and I was like, how did you get up there? I need help. And they put me in contact with you. So that success story made me trust you. This was the key element. So I started my work with you. I had some interview and conversation with other coaches. I believe I needed help at that time. And I was right. I needed help, but I had hard time find out who can help me, who could. And I trusted you. And that was the first step. The second step was that I religiously followed what you said, even though it looked scary. It was really not easy when you told me, when you put me on the homework, when you set me on task, when you told me I need to learn this and that, and I need to work on myself on this area or build up my confidence by mastering what I'm doing and learning some new skills. And I trusted you and I followed what you said. And that was the reason.
You did follow it religiously, I can say that.
I followed it.
To say that also that this, it might seem like a big step, but it was actually a step-by-step process. So you remember, like from session to session, every time we would do something more, and then we would add something more. And so it didn't come from one day to the other. But what was really important, and for me, like that's why I loved working with you, is because you were willing to step out of your comfort zone. You were willing to take these steps to challenge yourself. You built that literally from like every couple of weeks that we would see each other, you would already do one step forward, and then we would build and we would add a bigger step and a bigger step that actually led to the success that you are experiencing at the moment, the promotion, the pay rise, like all the amazing things that you achieved. This is also a really important thing to mention, that you did manage to get a very good promotion and a very good pay rise only within 6 months.
Yes, 6 months, and after 3 years of break. That was not easy, but it was a combination of listening to you and changing mindset and doing a lot of homework and then learning a lot of skills that was needed for my job. It was also strategic. I wanted to mention that the growth does not happen on its own. I think with the person I was, if I wanted to grow, I would already. The fact that in my history there wasn't such a leap, that means I didn't have it, and I needed to learn the strategy to grow myself, to build my skills, to learn how to approach my colleagues. And one big factor that was missing was positivity, like this mindset of you start approaching your colleagues, your project, the tasks that are piled up positively instead of being negative, being whining, opening a laptop every day with it's another working day. No, really. And I have to tell, having children also helped, because they engage my mind in the afternoon in such a different world, and that made me totally disconnect from the work, from the everyday life, business as usual and projects and everything. That the next day when I started my job, I was like, yes, let's get it done today.
I agree with you. And I think strategy is so important. And I think when people work in corporate, including myself, when I was working in the corporate world a few years back, I would never take the time to actually think about my career long-term, the strategy, what would get me there. And so many people do not do that. And that's where I think coaching can be really helpful, because it's actually helping you to think, what do I have in front of me? What are my options? Where is my heart? So what I really love to do, because it's not just about getting a promotion or getting the money. It's also about being really happy day in, day out. I felt, that you were feeling you were in a box when we started working together. But actually there was so much opportunity out there for you. And the moment you put yourself out there, you expressed willingness, you had a really supportive manager. I think we need to also mention that when you were like, hey, I want to try new things, these are some things I'm passionate about, right? If you hadn't taken that step of putting yourself forward, doing the work, putting your intention, nothing of all this would have happened. So the biggest credit is to you, actually, than anyone else.
Us. We are social, and we grow faster and better and more in depth together than alone. I read it in one of your posts that alone you can go fast, but together you can go far. Really, it is very important to bring this into visibility, that getting help does not mean that I'm not good enough. It means I'm good and I can be better. So I believe in receiving honest feedback, receiving help, and in that you're amazing. I think you've done great thing being honest to me and tell me, hey, here you have to pause and revisit what you're thinking and change it. It's not going to work this way. Yeah, you summarized it very well. It's been a combination of a lot of factors. But yeah, success doesn't happen alone. What I wanted to also mention is that in the school, I have a PhD, so not to forget that important thing. So in the school, you learn a lot about whatever field you choose. I studied physics, so I've learned a lot about physics, a lot about mathematics, a lot about how the world works. But there was not even one book that tell me how to be successful in my career and also in the industry, in the fast-paced industry. I don't know, maybe in other modules, people would learn those things. But I think these are very, very delicate, soft skills that you really need to be lucky to be in a family that they taught you this thing, or you find the right resources, meet the right people, have good mentors, and at the end of this all, you have a coach, and that will change your life. I mean, at least it was my path this way.
I think what is really important is that change can happen. And sometimes, because I talk with a lot of people and they see, they don't have a lot of options, or what can I do? They don't really believe in themselves. They would say for themselves, hey, I'm not a confident person. And what I'm always saying, that like confidence is not something that you have or you have not. We all have areas of confidence that we are really strong at, and we all have areas where we'll need to build that confidence. But the reason I wanted you to share your story is to show that you can start from a place of low confidence, and that there are things that you can do to change that, and you can be really successful, and you can really design your life the way you want if you take the right steps and you have the right intention and you do the right work, right? So, Leah, if I would ask you, what is the number one thing that you think has changed in the way you see yourself over the last few months that we're working together, what would that be?
I'm more self-aware, but that has to do with the confidence and mindset together. We repeat these words far too many times in this conversation, but that's exactly this. Confidence has been understood wrongly. People think confident people talk very confidently, walk out there very bright, and everybody look at them. But this is not true. You can be confident and not so shining. Like, to me, I found the true meaning of it. It is to set a border, a clear boundary between what I know and what I don't know. What skill I acquire, what skill I need to build up. This clarity gave me confidence that I know, okay, if I have this knowledge, I talk about it, I share it with my colleagues, I build up the team schedule based on that. If I don't have it, I need to learn it. And this is the meaning of confidence. There is a funny example. Shall I share it? There is a very, very funny example I learned long ago about confidence. It's like you're sitting in a meeting and somebody rush in and say, hey, you have a red car. The car has been fined by the police because it was parked in the wrong spot. If you're confident, you say, I have a red car, but it's parked in the right place because I'm sure I parked it right. I know where I parked my car. And if you're not confident, you will just, you start to sweat. You say, oh my God, my car has been fined. I have to rush out. The confidence is, where you are and where you are not.
That's something you can also learn. So there might be, as you said, for you, it was like taking a long break, seeing your colleagues progressing while you were taking on a different role. But I feel like one of the breakthroughs for you was realizing that you were not left behind, but you had taken a different role. And in that role, you have always been very, very successful. You have two amazing kids. It's not that, there was a pause or something. It was just your focus was different and you were still amazing at what you were doing. But that
Thank you very much.
amazingness was coming from a different area that wasn't your professional life. And
Yeah.
sometimes, especially as women, we have to make these decisions and prioritize family for some time, but that does not make us less capable or less amazing.
To be very honest, this is something people don't talk about it, but mothers, especially first-time mothers or very young mothers, when the children are still very small, we are full of doubt. We every day question, did I do everything right? Am I a good mother? Oh my God, the child cried 5 minutes extra today. I must have done something wrong. I messed up. I'm ruining another human being on this earth. A young mother is full of self-critic and self-doubt. Children at the end, they're very resilient. Most of them will turn out fine. We are in a very right place, very good society. Things are in the right order, I believe. But there's still room to grow, but we put that aside. But as a young mother has a strong self-doubt, and it's very difficult to come out of that world that you have a lot of emotions, a lot of love and a lot of fear and a lot of worry and fear of unknown. What could happen to my child? Oh my God, she's developing a new skill. What if she falls from this step? And I don't want to imagine what would happen. So when you come out of that and you start your job, you are not in the right place. You are just inside. You're full of doubt, fear, and full of vulnerability. But at the same time, you have great skills. You know how to cope with a lot of things that happen at once. You can take 1 million decisions, literally, from the moment you open your eyes until 9:00, where all of your colleagues just take your coffee and they sat at their table. You have already taken, I don't know, about 54 decisions and successfully accomplished. So this is a very interesting skill to build up. It's not easy. You will see how resilient you are when if somebody complain about a headache and take the day off where you have a headache, back pain, you need to take care of your teeth and also 3 appointments for children, and you're happily answering the emails. You know what I mean? So you build a lot of skills and resilience, but you don't see it. That's why somebody out there needs to bring it into your visibility and help you to build that confidence back. At the beginning of our work, you introduced me, like I think maybe first or second session, you told me, go read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. Did I say correctly?
Yes.
So I didn't tell you this, but I have been 3 years in the data team when I joined Delivery Hero back in 2015. And then 1 year as project support, and then 3 years maternity leave. All of these years, I literally, each time I thought about my career, I suffered from fixed mindset. I suffered from the fact that I thought I have studied such a long time in university. I have got such a good degree. I must, was carrying this crown of accomplishment in the past, but why I don't see the progress now? What I'm trying to say is this book, these conversations we had, this constant, very delicate and very fine correction that you did to my approach, to my way of thinking, way of talking, way of approaching people, that really transformed something in me. This talk, it wasn't easy for me to sit in front of camera. I'm not a camera person. You should believe me for that. But I'm just doing it for a tribute to our work, to you, because I think it's valuable. I think it's worthy.
There are so many people who might have similar thoughts to you. And that's the reason I decided to have these interviews, is because I feel there are so many people that feel that they are the only ones who are thinking like this or who are feeling like this. But because I have the chance to talk with so many people again and again, like every day, I know that there are so many people who are struggling with similar challenges, and I know there are solutions. And that is what is driving me and where my passion comes. This belief that everybody can be really happy and fulfilled and they can love themselves. And if I can play a small role doing that, then that makes my life really worthwhile.
Remember, I asked you, or we were having this dinner with all of your clients, and somebody asked you, what would you teach to your child? And you remember, what did you answer? You answered confidence and mindset of finding solutions, mindset of not staying in the problem. And I believe if mothers change their mindset, it will change the generation. I believe if a working mother is happy at the end of the day, she will transfer less grudge to her child, because we are really the core emotion. We are forming the core emotion of how our children feeling about themselves when they are adult one day. And if we as working women, if we are happy, then they are building this model in their mind that a woman is happy and a woman is in society as a valuable member of a organization and a community. So this is very important, this changing mindset, this building confidence and being a happy mother. I don't know, maybe somebody after working with you find out that she must quit the industry and go do something else, open a bakery, but that doesn't matter, because that person is going to be a happier mother.
If you're not happy, then you cannot make the people around you happy. So whether you are a mom, a dad, you do not have any kids, or like whatever is your life about, I think if you are not happy, no one around you will ever be happy.
Yes.
So if we want to do something for others, the best thing we can do is start working on ourselves and in our own happiness. And then we can just spread that.
Yes. And there, I think it's very important, an external person who's not your partner, come observe your work, observe your performance. If it's about career, or if it's about your relationship with your colleagues, the best is a coach or a mentor. And if it's about your personal development, maybe the best is a therapist. But I think it's very crucial, an honest person with a critical but loving mindset comes and hold your hand through until you pass this challenges and these things that you're dealing with, struggling with, and then you grow. And like a child, just like a child, as our children grow, we grow ourselves, right? And then we see them and we see ourselves and say, wow, such a long way we came along together. And for that, I am genuinely, truly grateful to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story, for being so open and transparent. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity to witness all this with you, because I take so much energy and inspiration from the people I work with. And I think you are one of the people that really stand out, because you've done really so much work and such a huge transformation that is just amazing to.
I love it. Yes. Thank you very much. This is just the beginning of our work. I believe this is just the beginning. I think there's a long way to go. I'm very excited to continue together.